Alright, we're going to talk about how to determine the y-intercepts of tables, as well as finding the equation of the table as well, since you know how to identify the y-intercept already, and the slope already. So remember that a y-intercept is when it crosses the y-axis, but since we're talking about a table, it's when the table has an x value of 0, and it's also the b in y equals mx plus b, which is after the x. So to determine the y-intercept, you need to determine the rule on both sides of the table, and then you're going to use that rule to help you figure out what the value of y is when x equals 0. So if we look at our first table, we can see that we have the x value of 0 already. So we know that our y-intercept is 7. And we need to find the rule to identify my slope. -2 to -1 is adding 1. -1 to 0 is adding 1. 0 to 1 is adding 1, and 1 to 2 is adding 1. 3 to 5 is adding 2. 5 to 7 is adding 2. 7 to 9 is adding 2, and 9 to 11 is adding 2. And remember, slope is y over x. My y is 2, my x is 1, so my slope is 2. And then we plug that into the equation. Remember, your equation for slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. We're going to replace the m and the b with what we just found. So we have y equals 2x plus 7 for my equation. If we look at the next one, we can see that we don't have a 0 on the x side, so we need to look at our rule. 2 to 3 is plus 1, 3 to 4 is plus 1, 4 to 5 is plus 1, 5 to 6 is plus 1. -3 to -5 is subtracting 2, -5 to -7 is subtracting 2, -7 to -9 is subtracting 2, and -9 to -11 is subtracting 2. So I'm going to identify my slope first. Remember, slope is y over x. My y is -2, my x is 1, which makes my slope -2.
We'll begin the infrastructure trial test now. Thank you.
Now we need to realize that my 0 is going to be up here somewhere. So I'm just going to extend my rule. 2 minus 1 is 1. I'm not at 0 yet, so I need to go one more time. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I need to figure out what this value is here. So I have -3. We're going to add 2 because that's the opposite of subtracting 2. -3 adding 2 is -1, and -1 plus 2 is 1. So my y-intercept is 1. And now we just rewrite our equation in y equals mx plus b form, which is slope-intercept form. And we have y equals -2x plus 1 as my equation.